This is going to be a quick video. I just want to talk about something that actually a commenter left this on a recent video saying, have you noticed that like everybody today is a truther or a conspiracy theorist? And I think it kind of goes along with QAnon being so mainstream. We got these leaks. This started a while ago actually with like the Snowden guy and all of these deep conspiracy leaks becoming more or less public knowledge. It is kind of an interesting era, and was it orchestrated on purpose? Like, why now? Why is this a thing now where there's just so many people who are into conspiracy? And I don't know. I don't know that I even have an answer to this, but somebody just left that comment. They mentioned all the AI conspiracy channels out there. So is this just a known thing that they just knew that the truth is going to come out eventually? And maybe, so I'm just saying my own personal 2 cents, and then I'll move on with the video. Maybe the reason that it's like this, that we have QAnon, that we have these leaks that never seem to go anywhere, I think that could just be time wasting. But why? Why do we have this common, it seems fairly common acceptance and public acceptance of widespread conspiracy and similar things? So I'm just going to read this. Israel's going to do a false flag operation in the U.S. soil and blame it on Iran. I've heard the remaining members of Epstein's network have devised a conspiracy to create an incident similar to 9/11 and blame Iran for it. And so I just think it's interesting that they're kind of, without saying it, if you read between the lines, they're kind of just accepting that 9/11 is a conspiracy. And of course, that's very surface level. I mean, I see a lot of stuff about Building 7 these days and memes and stuff. It is much more common knowledge today to have at least some level of conspiracy-mindedness to the discourse. You know, what this makes me think of is families. Families are being like torn apart right now because on one side you got the blue hairs that get offended at everything. But it seems like everybody's family. It used to be, oh, you got a weird uncle, or oh, your grandpa says everyone on TV is a flip-flop and don't believe anything on the TV, it's all lies. Everybody had like the one grandpa or the one weird uncle. But nowadays it seems like every family is being like torn apart. Even right now, even entire political sides are being linked with various conspiracy ideas. So it is an interesting topic, and thank you for leaving that comment. So I don't really have time. I'm going to just go really fast through other news things I saw. Sorry for the rush video. It's the way it is today. Trump is just a troll. Trump is very good at being a troll. Trump says U.S. may hit again just for fun. All right. We were just talking about being able to see people's eyes, if they're evil or not. This Pope has a very sinister vibe to it, as do all the popes. The last one had kind of a Disney veneer. Still had the evilness, for sure. The last Pope was very evil. Is that when they came up with the weird, the one that sits in front of this throne that looks like this demonic apocalypse scene? Anyways, all the popes are clearly very evil. People don't forget about the Vatican's involvement in Epstein-like things, so no surprise these people look very evil. They do evil things. I'm just going to run through these things. Something about math. It was just Pi Day the other day. But there was some interesting language. The reason I picked these is because there was some interesting language in this article. Moral dimension, emerging technologies. Manifold is another mathematical concept. With all its potential for good or evil. Hopeful signs. So requires not just an intellectual effort and ingenuity, but an integral growth of the whole person in order to encompass the moral dimension of these emerging technologies. Humanizing the digital sphere is kind of an interesting term. So this just seemed interesting. I'll read this last part. The Holy Father prayed that all those... Is that what they call? Oh man, so blasphemous. I don't even think of Catholic... Sometimes people ask me in the comments about Catholicism. I don't consider Catholics as Christian, because I consider them like a cult, like Mormons. Think of Mormons. They pretend to agree about the Bible, but then they have these like false prophets and believe all these wacky things and have their own traditions. That's exactly what Catholicism is. They just inherited a lot of the old world fancy buildings, but we know they're involved in human trafficking. They have their own traditions, and they have blasphemous prophets like the Pope. They try to say that the Pope is infallible. Most Catholics today don't go along with that BS, but then it's stupid. Why would you be a Catholic if you're just going to ignore the glaring issues? Anyways, I'm not even going to say that. The bozo with the demon eyes prayed that all those involved in the event would remain attentive to the profound spiritual needs of the human heart, seeking ways to humanize the digital sphere and shape it as an opportunity for fraternity, makes me think Freemasonry, and creativity. This was a weird prayer, though. Ways to humanize the digital sphere. That's weird language, and it's almost like he's trying to summon, like to make an AI gain consciousness. Is that what this dude is trying to pray for? Prophets of hope, truth, and goodness in the world. Invoking abundant divine blessings. Anyways, I'm going to end with this Diana stuff, mostly just for the interesting pictures. Displaying the watch prominently and a weird cheeky smirk on that one. Yeah, I think Diana is a dude. Because I don't think that the conspiracy, this video is just about general conspiracy stuff. One of the biggest thing that these people do is fake deaths. So, just some quick gematria stuff. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, were age 15 and 12 respectively. 15 plus 12 is 27, which you might be like, oh, well, okay. But 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. It's 3 cubed. 3 raised to the third power. It's kind of a hidden 33 reference. This gives twin tower vibes, so that was interesting. And picture's worth 1,000 words. Got one hand in my pocket. Well, that's it for this video. Sorry to keep it so short and rushed, but it is what it is. I'll be back for more in the future. God bless everyone.